How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to run through England, and we are also going to run through a little bit of a match preview for the upcoming game up against Wales. So please like and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow. Now, looking at England so far, they really do seem like a changed team. We take into consideration the performances last year. We take into consideration the Autumn Nations, where they really struggled. They were able to play a solid 50, maybe 60 minutes, but then ended up dying at the end of the game and ultimately losing multiple games because of this. So Steve Borthwick made a couple big changes in the likes of Maro Itoje being named captain, and things have seemed to be on the up and up since then. We've seen the likes of Finn Smith, who seems to have potentially, put himself as put himself down as the starting number 10, as we've seen in the past couple games, where we've seen the likes of Marcus Smith being dropped into 15. Now, England have been making some good changes. We've been seeing some seriously good performances come through. They do seem to be attacking a lot more, which is very lovely to see. And we're not just, England are not just sitting back and, taking everything as they come. But ultimately, England still has a lot of work to do, but they are by no means the completed product. They still have a lot of kinks to iron out, and they really have a lot of work needed to do on their defensive systems. But this is very promising. We look at the Six Nations so far, they are still in contention to potentially lift the Six Nations. I mean, the chances of that happening are relatively low, but they still in contention. If you had to say, look, would you guys be, if you had to see yourself in the next year's Six Nations, could you guys see you potentially beating the likes of France? You probably would have said no. Um, you know, could you see you guys could you see you guys potentially winning the Six Nations? And some of them probably would say, yeah, look, if they up the performances, we could definitely see them fighting, fighting for that title. But guess what? England have stepped up their game. Yes, they have had some, shaky moments here and there, but ultimately this is far improved from England in the Autumn Nations and last year. Um, we do have players like George Furbank, which is still out injured. He's a very big key mechanism for England as well. And Marcus Smith has been, he's been playing pretty well. And I mean, Steve Borthwick tried to drop him, and guess what happened when he came on? I think it was Ollie Lawrence. He ended up getting injured. And then Marcus Smith comes on after being started on the bench, and he goes and bags himself a try and an assist as well. So, he is too good to drop right now. But where do we see him when the likes of George Furbank is back and fit and ready? Right? There's going to be a lot of competition there. Are we going to see Marcus potentially back at 10? So there's a lot that's really going to be riding on this, and there's going to be a lot of fight for positions. But I feel having this healthy competition, it's only going to help them get better and better and better, right? Having that good strong competition up against elite players, whereas Finn Smith seems to have won that at that number 10 spot. Marcus is playing too good to be dropped right now, so he's going to stay solid at 15. But we are going to be seeing the likes of Henry Pollock, who he's I believe he's number 20 on the bench list for the upcoming game, and he's going to be such a good player. He's got such a bright future ahead of him, and I cannot wait to see if he's going to get some game time. I would absolutely love to see him get some serious game time. But there's a lot of players on show here. We have the likes of Cunningham South, who he hasn't exactly had the best of Six Nations, but he's still got a lot of talent and he's got a lot of promise. You see players like Jack van Poortvliet, his boot is just absolutely phenomenal. He's a brilliant kicker of the ball, and we are still yet to see, him. We do also have, like I say, Henry Pollock, Finn Smith. He's still pretty young. He's only getting better. And, there's a lot of players that, are going to be coming fit. And it's going to be interesting to see how England play later on come the year, but this is very, very promising, right? So if they are able to beat Wales, which I'm pretty certain they will be able to, it leaves them up, in good contention. So obviously, if England play very well, get themselves a good bonus point, and other results go their way, and although that's very, very highly unlikely, it is possible that we could potentially see England winning the Six Nations, right? But ultimately, England have improved in my eyes. Like I say, they are no finished product. They still have a lot of improving to do if they want to be competing for, major titles, if they want to even have a doubt, if they want to be mentioned in in that bracket to say, look, they could potentially win the 2027 World Cup. You have a lot of talent on show here that if they are able to work themselves and improve adequately and really stick to a good system, we could see them being some serious, serious contenders for the 2027 World Cup, right? But then you do still have the likes of Ireland and France and, New Zealand and South Africa who are just ridiculous, who also have some serious talent, up and coming. But England, so far, in my opinion, have had a pretty wonderful start to the year. Could it have been better? Yes, of course it could have been better. But they are coming off of a Six Nations where they, you know, they weren't expected to do that much, and they ended up getting a win over France, which is actually a pretty solid win. And they are potentially going to get another win on the trot after beating both France and Scotland. And were the wins convincing? No, they weren't necessarily convincing. But will the wins stand? Yes, they will. Because even the likes of Ireland were beaten by France. And they were not just beaten, they were given a hiding. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you guys that are going to say, oh, but, England this, England that. I'm looking at it from an outside view on where they were last year to where they are now and how they have started and how the changes that Borthwick has made has been productive changes. They are steps forward. They are not steps backwards, right? I feel Maro Toje has filled that captain's mantle very well. Whatever he's doing is working. He needs to continue doing it, and obviously he's looking to progress his career and really really make himself that true leader that England has needed, right? And he is showing it. He is showing it. So let's break down a quick match preview between Wales and England. They are both going to have pretty solid teams. Obviously, we do have Wales still looking for that win in almost like 600 days or something like that, which is absolute madness. But they are now on this brink. Ever since Matt Sherratt came in, they are now on this brink of getting that win. They put in solid performances up against Ireland, and you just kind of feel it that they are going to get something, at some point, because we've seen the likes of Max Llewellyn, Gareth Anscombe come in, we have Faletau come in, Ellis Mee, he's performing. I mean, the last game he performed brilliantly. We have the likes of Blair Murray, who it was just such a shame that try was ruled out. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's Blair Murray's build up to Faletau's try, which was then disallowed. And I swear the guy, he felt like he was, he had his inner hurdling Jonah Lomu going on, because he straight up hurdled the guy like it was nothing. And then he sat, I forgot who he sat down, but immediately after that, he just went full psycho and made that player sit down. The guy didn't even know what the hell happened. So, yeah, Wales need to put in a good performance. They are going to need Wilgriff John to please stop being a ballerina. There's no place for that. We don't want your pointy toes. So keep that to yourself and just play good old rugby, right? As it's supposed to play. Because Wales were without Wilgriff for a good long while because of a stupid, stupid decision, which should never even happen. I don't even understand what is in his mind to do that, right? So, yeah, Wales are, they're coming in strong. They've got a pretty solid side. I am kind of liking the bench. Obviously, we do have the likes of Dewey Lake, which I cannot wait to see play again. You have the likes of Tommy Raffel, Asarati, Rodri Williams, Jared Evans, which I would really love to see play up against England. And depending on how the game's going to go, we're probably going to see them make an appearance later on in the second half. But otherwise, if Thomas Williams is able to have a solid game, Gareth Anscombe is able to be that general and dictate tempo and really start making those plays that is needed, we could definitely see a pretty solid Wales lineup and Wales performance. But ultimately, when we look at England's starting 15 and their bench, I just feel England have far too much. We do have that the partnership, that Saints partnership with the likes of Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, Dingwall, Freeman, as well. Freeman coming in a center role, so that we are allowing Tom Roebuck to be coming in at 14. So I think England are definitely not going to want to be fighting Wales in the scrums and in the lineouts. They definitely are going to try and avoid the maul as much as they possibly can. They're going to go for their kicking game. They're going to utilize the ability of Marcus Smith, his ability to kick that ball wherever he needs it to be, relieving pressure, opening up space, gaining territory, and using the likes of Tom Roebuck being so strong in the air, as well as Tommy Freeman being very strong in the air to really start gaining those yards, gaining those meters and pushing for tries. So the way I see this happening is England are going to force Wales to make mistakes. And if they aren't able to do that, they're going to work their high ball, and then they're just going to keep pushing for those outskirts, right? Keeping things wide. They're not going to really want to be going down that center, because you have the likes of, Elliot D, Nicky Smith, Wilgriff John, Dafford Jenkins, who are just absolute monsters, absolute monsters, as well as Aaron Wainwright, which is coming in at 6. So they aren't going to want to go down that center. They're going to want to go out they're going to use those outside channels to really start making Wales pay. But ultimately, I feel England are going to have far too much for Wales. I think Wales are going to end the Six Nations still looking for another win, and hopefully they are able to get something a little bit later on. But chances again of that happening are still very low, considering the teams that they are going to be playing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. My prediction for this game is going to be 35-12 to England. I do feel England are just going to have far too much in their tank for England, and we are going to see masterclass work from Finn Smith and Alex Mitchell to really drive that attacking flair, and then using the likes of Ollie Chess and Maro Toje just to be those physical presences in the air and trying, really trying to stop the likes of Will Rowlands and Dafford Jenkins. We are going to see Cowan Dickey, Will Stewart, who's been playing so bloody well. If he's able to have another solid game, use those little twinkle toes, we could see another strong England performance. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.